Wikipedia was launched in 2001 as an online encyclopedia that crowdsourced its articles by allowing anyone to write and edit them, a strange business model that has surprisingly led to them becoming the fifth most popular website in the world. Its name derives from the words wiki, which is a website format that allows collaborative modifications, and encyclopedia. They currently have over 5 million articles and are usually one of the top Google search results for most subjects entered into the search engine. Unlike traditional encyclopedias, which are written and edited by experts in their field, pretty much anyone can add almost anything to Wikipedia articles, which are then read and believed by countless people online. Since Wikipedia has become the most popular online encyclopedia and one of the most visited websites in the world, people need to know about what a serious problem Wikipedia is and how it's a huge part of the fake news industrial complex. Editors at most newspapers and traditional encyclopedia companies have names and titles, not to mention bosses and company policies that they must abide by, but much of what happens on Wikipedia is a mystery, and most of the editors and writers are anonymous or only referred to by their online handles, which rarely reveal any information about who they are or what credentials they have, if any. Since Wikipedia is free and there are no advertisements on the site, this leads to the question of who funds them, and how did a free online encyclopedia that was written by random anonymous people on the internet come to be a trusted source of information by so many people? I'll get into all that and more, but first, real quick, subscribe to my channel if you're new here, because you're not going to find information and an analysis like this anywhere else online. Their parent company, the Wikimedia Foundation, employs over 700 people, many of them contractors, and they started off with about $50,000 in assets in 2004, which grew to over $50 million by 2014 to over $230 million in assets today. Where does all this money come from, and what are they doing with it, since the articles are written and edited by random volunteers on the internet who have too much time on their hands? Apparently, people just give them money. A lot of money. In 2008, they got their biggest donation to date, which was $3 million from the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, a philanthropic nonprofit organization founded by the former CEO of General Motors. They would later give millions more. Google has also given millions of dollars to them as well, so it's no wonder that Wikipedia articles are usually one of the top search results for just about anything. Google's co-founder, Sergey Brin, has given them hundreds of thousands of dollars of his own personal money on top of the money that Google gave them as a corporation. All these donations are tax deductible because they're registered as a non-profit organization. A non-profit organization worth $230 million. Wikipedia has been involved in numerous lawsuits over defamation, and a substantial amount of their money has been spent defending them. It seems those are worthwhile tax write-offs and a necessary part of doing business as a disinformation website. Articles about controversial subjects like global warming, illegal immigration, and abortion all have massive liberal bias, and entries about living people, particularly conservative authors and journalists and activists, are the most biased and defamatory on the entire website. Because Wikipedia has become the go-to place for most people when they want to look something up, major corporations use sock puppet accounts to edit pages about their companies and products, trying to paint them in a favorable light and scrub criticism. Such edits have been traced back to people at companies like Pepsi, SeaWorld, Walmart, ExxonMobil, and others, since no company wants negative information about them or their products on an encyclopedia article about them. In 2012, it was discovered that 2 employees of Wikipedia's parent company, the Wikimedia Foundation, also ran a public relations business which included editing and monitoring the Wikipedia pages of their clients. And in 2015, it was revealed that some Wikipedia editors had been running a coordinated blackmail and extortion racket by using their editorial powers to allow the defamation of public figures and businesses if they didn't pay them protection money. These editors would also contact businesses and lesser-known celebrities whose pages had been rejected due to lacking notoriety and tell them that they would repost the page if they paid them. They also demanded monthly payments from the people to protect their pages from having unflattering information added. Pages of popular conservatives often have large controversies sections, which contain long lists of every little thing they've said that liberals find objectionable or want to amplify. Pages for Ann Coulter, Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, and Michael Savage all have the controversy section, or the equivalent, which nitpick things they've said or done. Wikipedia has even been known to use unflattering photos of conservatives in their profiles. Conversely, there are relatively few liberal journalists or television pundits who have a controversy section in their articles, or have much negative information about them even mentioned at all. For example, there is no mention on MSNBC's Lawrence O'Donnell's page about his conspiracy theories about President Trump, which got so outrageous that he even claimed Vladimir Putin orchestrated a false flag attack in Syria using chemical weapons to help President Trump's approval ratings. There's not a single mention on Michael Moore's page or Congresswoman Maxine Waters' page about their endless Russian conspiracy theories either. You may recall that Maxine Waters even claims, among other strange things, that Russia coined the term crooked Hillary for Donald Trump. Transgender TV star Laverne Cox was born Roderick Cox, a man, but Wikipedia editors refused to allow his birth name to be mentioned anywhere on his page. Roderick was the first transgender person to appear on the cover of Time magazine and is hailed a hero in the liberal media, but unlike every single other actor or actress on the planet who uses a stage name or legally changes their name, Wikipedia will not allow any mention of the fact that Laverne Cox was born Roderick Cox. Many of Hollywood's biggest stars use stage names, and while never mentioned in the traditional media, their real names are always included on their Wikipedia page, except for Laverne's. Tom Cruise's real name is Tom Mappifer. Nicolas Cage's real name is Nicholas Coppola. Singer Katy Perry's name is Katie Hudson. There's a million of them, and every other cisgender celebrity has their real name included on Wikipedia, but the site gives special treatment to Laverne Cox and other transgender people, including Jazz Jennings, which is a pseudonym. Not just Jazz, but also Jennings, the star of the TLC reality show, which promoted Jazz as one of the youngest children ever to identify as transgender. Liberal political figures also get special treatment on Wikipedia by the editors, who carefully guard their pages, trying to keep them portrayed in a positive light. One investigation revealed that a single Wikipedia editor made over 2,000 changes to Hillary Clinton's page over a 10-year period from 2006 up until the time she announced she was running for president in 2016 in order to keep as much criticism off of it as possible. The Wikipedia page for USA Today's founding editor John Siegenthaler Sr. had once claimed that he was directly involved in the assassinations of John F. Kennedy and his brother Bobby. The edit was made as a joke by someone, but it stayed up, and when he learned of it, he contacted Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia. But at first, the only thing Wikipedia did is correct the spelling of a word in the entry, and the false claim stayed on the website for 4 months before it was finally removed, but not before the claims had been repeated on other websites. A Turkish academic who traveled to Canada was reportedly detained several hours by immigration officials because of a false claim someone added to his Wikipedia page. Pro golfer Fuzzy Zeller, who once won the US Open and the Masters tournament, sued Wikipedia after somebody edited his page to say that he beat his wife and abused drugs, allegations which were then picked up by other websites. Just a few days before a congressional midterm election, someone changed the page of then House of Representatives Minority Leader Tom DeLay to say that he was a grand dragon of the Republican Party, a reference to the title of the leader of the KKK. The IP address of the person who changed it was traced back to someone who reportedly worked for the New York Times. People have even changed the pages of celebrities to indicate that they have died as a joke, which has sometimes caused the fake news to spread far and wide across the internet. A sociology student actually added a fake quote to the Wikipedia page of French composer Maurice Jarre immediately after his death as an experiment to see if media outlets would pick it up in their obituaries, and many did. One study that measured how many people viewed pages that were vandalized with false information found that while 42% of the damage was repaired almost immediately, the majority of the edits, which were not quickly corrected, were viewed hundreds of millions of times before the articles had been fixed. Sometimes Wikipedia editors will even create an entire article about a topic or an issue hoping to shine a spotlight on it to further promote their political leanings. For example, there was a lengthy article titled Criticism of George W. Bush, but the Criticism of Barack Obama page had been deleted 4 different times by Wikipedia editors who kept claiming the article had no meaningful substantive content and called it an attack page. After the edit wars continued, the site finally allowed the Criticism of Barack Obama page to stay, but renamed it to the public image of Obama. And of course, Obama's main page is mostly praise. The article about the United States presidential election of 2016 highlights liberals' conspiracy theories about Russian interference, and on Donald Trump's page, in the section about his campaign for president, it claims the alt-right movement coalesced around Trump's candidacy, and during the campaign, Trump was accused of pandering to white nationalists, and fact-checking organizations have denounced Trump for making a record number of false statements compared to other candidates. There is even an article about what Wikipedia claims is the LGBT grooming conspiracy theory, which tries to frame the countless instances of grooming activities which have been making the news over the last few years by LGBT extremists in schools and drag shows for kids, as if they're just normal behaviors, and anyone who sees a problem with it is a right-wing extremist and a conspiracy theorist. As you know, white heterosexual Christian men are usually demonized as the cause of every evil in the world by the liberal media today. White people are held in such disdain that they are often told that they should be ashamed of being white, and if they have any measure of success in life, it's because they have white privilege, which is said to be the primary reason for it, meaning they benefit from what liberals call an inherent white supremacist ideology incorporated into American society and institutions. White people are being cast in such a negative light in the media and on college campuses today that if any white person happens to be proud of their culture, then they're painted as a racist and a white supremacist. Of course, every other race can be happy about who they are and the achievements of their culture, except white people. A comparison between the articles about white pride, black pride, and Asian pride on Wikipedia illustrates this double standard. For example, the White Pride article states that white pride is a motto primarily used by white separatist, white nationalist, neo-Nazi, and white supremacist organizations in order to signal racist or racialist viewpoints. Compare this to the article on Black Pride, which reads, "Black Pride is a movement in response to dominant white cultures and ideologies that encourages black people to celebrate black culture and embrace their African heritage." The entry for Asian Pride reads that in the United States, Asian pride is a positive stance to being Asian American. The anti-white bias in the Pride articles is cultural Marxism, which ironically Wikipedia calls a conspiracy theory. Cultural Marxism is the use of the media to perpetuate leftist ideologies such as political correctness, gender bending, and other sexual perversions as if they are normal and cool, while attacking traditional family values, American history, and culture, along with capitalism and the Bill of Rights. Cultural Marxism uses pop culture and celebrity icons to promote regressive leftist policies and behaviors to the masses, so people will mimic these influencers by thinking their attitudes and actions are cool. And Wikipedia doesn't just call cultural Marxism a conspiracy theory, they call it an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory and cite the Southern Poverty Law Center as the source for their claim. The fact that Wikipedia is the default online encyclopedia is horrifying, considering I've only mentioned a handful of the problems the site has, and with the ability to misinform so many people with bias and malicious information, it shouldn't be considered a reliable source of information and should be shunned and mocked. Whatever happened to Encyclopedia Britannica, a real encyclopedia. If you like my serious monologues like this, then you'll love reading my books. So order The True Story of Fake News, How Mainstream Media Manipulates Millions in paperback from Amazon.com, or download the ebook from Kindle iBooks or Google Play. My books are a lot more in-depth and hardcore than my videos, which I have to tone down a bit for obvious reasons. So head on over to Amazon.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.